To order. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Amparano?
Here.
Councilmember Mendoza?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Obisa Martinez?
Here.
Mayor Tucker?
Here.
And Councilmember Burnworth is absent for the record.
Okay. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready? Begin.
One nation,
Adjustments to the agenda.
Mr. Mayor, we have no adjustments, but I believe Councilperson Amparano is going to propose some adjustments to the agenda.
Mayor Tucker, if I may make some adjustments to the agenda.
Yes.
Move them to the consent agenda, C2, C4, C6, and C7.
All right. Thank you.
you vote on that one?
Do we need to vote
Yeah,
on that one?
I make a second. Yep.
I got a motion and a second. Please vote.
Do roll call vote.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Amparano?
Yes.
Councilmember Mendoza?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Obisa Martinez?
Yes.
And Mayor Tucker.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0.
All righty.
Just on time with the coffee.
Yeah.
City Attorney, report, closed session,
The
please.
city council met in closed session today and discussed one, initiation of litigation. Direction was given to council. Council discussed one, significant exposure to litigation. Direction was given to council. The council also discussed conference, with labor negotiators, and direction was given to the city manager. That concludes my report.
All right, thank you. Public comments. Matters not appearing on the agenda. If you wish to address the city council concerning any items within the city's jurisdiction, please raise your hand and be acknowledged by the mayor at that time. State your name and address for the record. The mayor reserves the right to place a time limit of 3 minutes on each person's presentation. Any public comments? Seeing none, any written?
No public comments via email.
All right, thank you. Next up is presentations. A1, Certificate of Recognition for the car 2025 champion, Brock Hager and Max Eddy. Certificate of Recognition proudly presented to Brock Hager on behalf of the Imperial City Council. This certificate is proudly presented to Brock Hager in recognition of his outstanding achievements in the 2025 Dakar Rally. Brock, alongside co-navigator Max Eddy, has secured his fourth consecutive U.S. championship title in the prestigious event. This remarkable accomplishment highlights Brock Hager's expertise, skill, dedication, and perseverance. If you'd like to step up and say a word.
Not much to say, but thank you, James, for the recognition and everyone on the board. I appreciate it. And it was fun to go represent, our small little town overseas.
I heard that you were the first person to win driving a four-wheel vehicle at Dakar, an American.
No, third American to win it in a four-wheel car, fourth American to ever win it. So it was cool to be one of the few Americans that have ever won it, and not only that, just for our little city.
Awesome. Congratulations.
And we'll meet over here and I'll give you the certificate and we'll get our photos.
Mayor Tucker, if I could, can you just provide kind of like a little summary of what type of race and the conditions and what you went through to get that?
Yeah, it's a 13-day rally event. I think it was a total of, I think, 8,300 kilometers. So it was stretched over 13 days. Yeah, you kind of see everything. It goes from, you have kind of long road sections to get to the start line. And then once you get through this to the start line, it's just a rally style event. So pretty much on average, we probably did 200, 300, 400 miles a day. And, you know, it was pretty much sun up, sun down. And we had a rest day in the middle, day 6. So we got 1 day off of racing. And then besides that, it was just go, go, go every day. So it was, it's pretty crazy what you see there. It's definitely, Saudi Arabia is the most empty country or place I've ever been. So not much to see, but just a bunch of desert, a lot of sand dunes. There was a lot of days of just sand. So makes Glamis look really small when you're, you know, driving all day long. And as far as you can see all day long, it's just sand. So it was cool. It was a long ways. And yeah, there's thousands of people that compete just to try to finish. So to go there as, you know, my first year as a rookie and to win was super cool.
Thir- 13 days of off-roading nonstop. Well, with the one break, I just can't imagine what your body had to have felt like at the end of those
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Good thing I'm young, so I'm like a rubber band.
You don't recommend it for someone my age, you're saying?
No, I mean, it's definitely a lot of sitting towards the end. You know, your bottom hurts just from sitting, but I guess that's why I'm doing it at 25 and not 50.
Thank you. Wow.
All right, thank you.
Well, congratulations once again.
Oh, he's trying to avoid the picture. You gotta do a photo.
One, two, three.
Yeah, welcome back. Okay, next is A2, presentation of National FFA Week proclamation.
Somebody has to go to the front.
Alrighty. City of Imperial proclamation, National FFA Week, February 15th through the 22nd, 2025. Whereas the National FFA organization is a dynamic youth organization that changes lives and prepares members for premier leadership, personal growth, and career success through agricultural education. Whereas FFA ensures a steady supply of young professionals to meet the growing needs in the science, business, and technology fields of agriculture. And whereas the Imperial FFA chapter, composed of dedicated students, advisors, and volunteers, has made significant contributions to our city through community service projects, education programs, and promoting the importance of agriculture. Whereas the FFA motto is learning to do, doing to learn, earning to live, live to serve, which gives direction and purpose to students who take an active role in succeeding in agricultural education. And whereas the City of Imperial recognizes the commitment and achievement of FFA members, advisors, alumni, and supporters who work tirelessly to advance agricultural education and future of agricultural history. Now, therefore, I, Mayor James Tucker, on behalf of the Imperial City Council, proclaim the week of February 15th through the 22nd, 2025 as National FFA Week in the City of Imperial, passed and adopted this 19th day of February 2025. And
I just want to start things off to thanking all of you and to thank all the kids up here today, as well as our teachers. They help make all of this possible. And FFA is about inspiring students and creating and finding their own passions. When I first started out, as well as a lot of these kids, we were all very quiet and shy. But through this organization, because of these teachers over there in the back, we could stand here today and be the leaders that we are. Thank you.
Thank you. Right, anybody else want to say something?
Come on, Mr. Creel.
State your name, please.
I'm Brendan Curiel, and I'm the chapter reporter. I just want to say thank you for the city to allow this proclamation. As you know, as we look around, we have fields everywhere, and obviously, being the valley, agriculture is very important. I'm glad this organization is existing in this area, as it is very important to learn where livelihoods come from, such as where the hay grows, where the cattle comes from, and where our machines come from. It's very important to know the agriculture from both industry, as in machines, and both livestock. It's very important. As you know, our valley is heavily impacted with livestock, and it's important to know how to grow it, when to process it, and where to sell it.
Appreciate it very well.
My name is Addison Browning. I just want to take a moment to thank our ag teachers. Today is support your ag teacher, give ag appreciation to your teacher. And I want to thank my ag teachers, Ms. Herzog, Mr. Muscat, and Ms. Stiff, for really pushing us officers out there to be noticed by the city. What we do is not something that everyone can do. Being here in front of everyone is not something that everyone can do. So I want to thank my ag teachers and my officer team for really giving us this drive to be noticed by the city. And I want to thank you guys so much for supporting us and pronouncing us with the proclamation.
Thank you. Any others? Alrighty, I'll go ahead, walk up there and we'll give you your awards. Go ahead and spread out. Make it work.
One, two, three.
Okay, next up, A3, legislative update from JCG Government Affairs.
Come on, you deserve a hand too.
Try and get this up so you can hear me. Not often a lobbyist actually gets a clapping ovation there. Just want to say, Mayor, council members, city manager, it's a pleasure to be here tonight. Thank you for your continued support and your lobbying team. Myself as one part, along with Frank Salazar with Venser Public Affairs. We really feel honored to be able to represent the city and the city's interests in Sacramento. I'll start off by always kind of joking. I kind of sometimes feel like one of the four horsemen of the apocalypse with just all the things that happen in Sacramento during a legislative year. This will be an interesting year as we grapple with budget stuff, but let me start off with some good news. In working with your city staff, we were able to get Senator Padilla to introduce a piece of legislation just today, SB 461, which would facilitate, if it passes through the legislative process, the transfer of the former, what will soon be the former CHP building to the city for use for a police station. So that bill's been introduced today. It I will kind of give a quick little run through of what that process will look like, but likely won't complete that process until sometime in mid-September. So the bill's been introduced, it has to sit in print for 30 days, likely have its first policy committee hearing in the Senate sometime mid to late March, early April. It'll go through a fiscal review committee. Then in June, if all goes well, we switch houses. We go through the similar kind of rinse and repeat process on the assembly side. And then late August is when the two houses will send all their bills down to the governor for consideration. So we have a lot of steps to go through, but just getting the bill introduced this year, because of so many new members, fiscal constraints, both houses have limited or reduced the number of bills that each legislator can introduce. So it was much harder this year to convince people to bring bills on. So at least on the assembly side, last 2 years they could introduce 50 bills apiece. This year it's down to 35. So, which is probably a good thing because 50 bills for each member was a lot. I don't think we necessarily need 50 new laws per legislator every year, but don't quote me on that. But so, that'll be the kind of the process. We'll work very closely with city staff. There will be opportunities for testimony up in Sacramento, but this is great news and continued support by Senator Padilla. He worked very closely with us in the city in securing that grant money 2 years ago for the streets repaving program. So I know we greatly appreciate the senator and his continued support. As I kind of described, there's going to be fewer bills. I think one of the things that you'll see take up a lot of the bandwidth in Sacramento this year is going to be fire-related issues with, the fires that burned in LA and, the collapse of the insurance market around that and the impact because a lot of those homes weren't insured by private insurers and were on what was called the state's FAIR plan. Ultimately, that means the state and all the citizens that have insurance will be picking those costs up. So I think there's going to be a lot of focus on relooking at land use decisions that are made and where houses get built and how you then restructure things to actually ensure that there is ability for someone, if they rebuild the home, to get insurance that will actually cover the home in a real way and protect its assets against future fires and things. So that'll take up a lot of the bandwidth. Excuse me. I think the other thing that's going to be interesting to watch just politically is this kind of pull and tug between California as a state and the new presidential administration of the federal government. I think California came out the box hot and heavy with having their special session to fight the Trump administration. And then very quickly we had the fires and that kind of whole messaging changed a bit. I think it's important to understand how the sheer level of funding that we get from the federal government, and that's really going to color how California approaches this administration. Right now, California typically receives about $170 billion from the federal government. A lot of that is in the healthcare space. And so as those priorities from the federal government shift and impact California, that's going to have huge ramifications on California's own budget and what can be funded and what can't be funded. So I just highlight that because there's going to be some hard decisions that are going to have to be made as we move forward. And I'll just say, even though the governor said that the budget was balanced back in January, it is not balanced at all. Between the fires, the delay of payment of property taxes in all of LA County, there will likely be a very large deficit that California is going to have to try and grapple with again this year. The other thing, and again, this is kind of at a higher level than what would normally impact the city of Imperial, but recently the big city mayors were just up in Sacramento. I think it was just last week, and the governor paid them a visit and had a very frank conversation with those big 13 city mayors about needing to tone down things around sanctuary status. There's, a lot of issues that have been coming up with the new priorities of the federal government around what gets funded and what doesn't get funded. There are public agencies that have nothing to do with whether a city or the state's a sanctuary entity or not, that are having large grants being held up by that. And so I think now there's a bigger focus on the state needing to kind of rethink how they approach some of that. And then the other thing the governor apparently told the mayors he wants them to solve is homelessness. So that is now being pitched back from the state, back to the locals, saying, you guys solved this problem, it's all on you. So I think given the time frame, I'll kind of end it there, but more than happy to answer questions or talk about any specific questions around the legislation, the path that's going to go forward. But just once again, thank you for the opportunity to continue working for you. We look forward to our going through what will probably be about 2,500 new pieces of legislation and figuring out what will be potential impacts to the city. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
you.
Any questions? Thank you. All right. Next up, A4, Friends of Imperial
Yeah.
Parks presentation. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, that's, I neglected to indicate that'll be on the next one. When you ask for adjustments to the agenda, that's a matter that will be taken up at our next meeting,
Yep.
A4.
A4, okay. All right. B, consent agenda. All items appearing under the consent agenda will be acted upon by the city council with one motion without discussion. Should any council member or persons request that an item be considered separately, that item will then be taken up at the time as determined by the mayor. And this will also include C2, C4, C6, and C7.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
I got a motion and a second. Vote, please.
Motion carries 4-0.
All right, thank you. Okay, next up is C, action items, discussion action. C1, approval of memorandum of understanding between the City of Imperial, San Diego State University, and San Diego State University Imperial Valley Campus, presented by Amber Haller, Library Administrator.
Right. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. The City of Imperial and San Diego State University teams have been diligently collaborating to establish a memorandum of understanding to enhance educational opportunities and community development within our region. The partnership will provide accessible information, guidance, and support to students and parents at the Imperial Public Library, strengthening educational opportunities within our community. This agreement establishes a collaborative effort between the City of Imperial and SDSU to provide college workshops and informational sessions at the library, assist students and families with college applications, financial aid and scholarships, offer direct access to SDSU SDSU representatives for questions and guidance, supply library resources, materials, and digital tools to support student success. This partnership does not require additional city funding. SDSU will provide its services and resources at no cost, leveraging the library as an accessible hub for higher education outreach. The proposed partnership will provide many benefits to the community. It expands educational access, supporting students in preparing for college and career pathways, engages parents by providing information to families navigating the college process. It supports first-generation students, helping break barriers for students pursuing higher education. It strengthens library resources, enhancing our role as a key resource center for learning. By approving this MOU, the City of Imperial will ensure increased access to higher education opportunities for local students and families, reinforcing our commitment to lifelong learning and academic success. This partnership reinforces the city's commitment to student success and lifelong learning and is an exciting step toward empowering our youth with the knowledge and resources needed for higher education and career advancement. Staff recommends approving the MOU between the City of Imperial, San Diego State University, and San Diego State University, Imperial Valley. We respectfully request the council's approval of the MOU and authorization to proceed with the signing ceremony. I am happy to answer any questions you may have, and I thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Any question?
I'm just glad we're here now. I know we started this, last year, Dean Nunez, and we knew it was gonna be a long road, but I'm glad that we're here now. So, thank you. Thank you to the staff.
All right. A motion, please.
Dr. Nunez, do you have any comments that you want to make?
Thank you, members of the City Council, City Manager Morita, City Attorney. What started with Mayor Katie Burnworth and was ushered with Mayor Amparano and now finalized with Mayor Tucker. We are thrilled to be here before you all today. Our outreach team has attended many community events, and we've shepherded in many of our students to do recruitment in local high schools, sharing with them what it means to have a university education and how it can change their lives and their families and their communities. This MOU agreement will allow our recruitment team to be able to share use of the city's library community room, to be able to offer workshops, financial aid and scholarship information, provide information to our parents in Spanish and English, provide guest speakers if you invite us. We have a lot of talented faculty and staff. We have a total of 12 undergraduate degrees that students can transfer in from our local community college, IBC. We also have 6 four-year degrees in public health, nursing, criminal justice, psychology, mathematics, and liberal studies. As you know, we started as a teacher's college, preparing most of the teachers in the Imperial Valley in multiple subject credentials. On our behalf, it is essential we provide resources and support to prospective students and their families as they navigate through their career choices in the admissions process. At this time, San Diego State has now reached Research 1 status, putting us in the top 5% of universities in the nation. And we're very proud to say the Imperial Valley has its own four-year university. Our students don't need to compete with 121,000 applicants that are applying to enter San Diego. You can apply directly to San Diego State Imperial Valley, and if you meet the requirements, which we gladly disclose, the A through G requirements of the GPA, we will bring you in. We want to expand our financial aid opportunities and our scholarships for our students. We want to bring them onto our campus and make sure they feel welcome. In fact, in our surveys, our students report that one of the best things they find is a sense of belonging. We have our Dean of Students and our Associate Dean of Academic Affairs who work really hard to create the curriculum and the student programming. So when students are accepted, they feel and know they belong and that we have the services, the tutoring, the mental health, a food pantry, whatever it is that they need to succeed, we are here to provide them with those services. Through this new partnership, we boost our engagement and our presence in the northern part of the Imperial County, in the city of Imperial. And we are able to better serve our students and our youth by embarking in their educational journey as partners. When our recruitment team is connecting with our students in person, it helps them have a one-to-one relationship. It helps us demystify the process of applying for higher education and making a career a reality. We want our students who reside in the northern part of the county to be accessible, to have a public library that makes them feel welcome, where they can go do their homework, and when they can request support either of the city, of its leadership, or of our campus community. Our team will also expand workshops for parents as a way to help them better understand our admissions process and demystify the financial aid financing process of paying for college and universities. We understand parents are our key partners in their students' success. San Diego State Imperial Valley has been here since 1959. We have a presence in Calexico and in Brawley. We are very proud that in the fall of 2025, we will be opening up an $80 million building that is here to provide careers in STEM, such as chemistry and electrical engineering. We are very proud that we're going to be producing the energy leaders for our community. And we're also proud that we're producing our leaders in nursing. As our students here are present, please, our nursing students, stand up. Leaders in public health, leaders in criminal justice, our leaders in public administration, our leaders in education. Thank you very much for your presence here today. I want to share that Imperial is very well represented in our nursing program. We have thousands of applicants into nursing, and every year we can bring in 10 freshmen and 10 transfer students. And for the first time ever, we had a significant donation that allowed us to bring in 10 more students. So as philanthropy helps us, as the state supports us, we commit to producing more nurses, more leaders for this campus. So thank you for the invitation to share your space. We want to honor that invitation. We look forward to having our staff rotate in and out, to have our students have a peer-to-peer model, and to be able to speak to our parents and to our partners. If you're an alum, thank you for your support. Come back and mentor a student. Come back and give back to your community. We're here to receive you, and we thank you for receiving us in your home.
Thank you. Okay, now,
Make a motion.
I got a motion.
Second.
I got a motion and I got a motion and a second. Please vote.
Motion carries 4-0.
Okay, Dr. Nunez, if we can meet at the table there and sign our paperwork.
I'm behind the table. So you guys are going
Poor James, he's back up.
Go, James.
No, sit back up.
I have a special gift for Amber. I share my own pop. No, this is a gift. Stays at the house. Students walk in, we want to build aspiration. When a kid looks up and says, what can I do? You can do whatever you want to, right? And we know that education is the number one indicator of social mobility. That means it opens your doors to have different keys, to have different doors that you can open, and then shepherd your brothers and sisters and your cousins and your neighbors. Because before you know it, they're looking at you as leaders. And we have so much trust. Thank you.
Okay. Next, we have C3. Adopt resolution number 2025-06, authorizing the replacement of the grit washer tank for the wastewater treatment plant headworks, presented by Mr. Dale.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Council. So this item is to replace the grit washer, which was installed as a part of the 2021 wastewater treatment plant project. And as it turned out, they used a stainless steel, I think it was 304 material that did not stand up to the wastewater strength and the corrosion portion. And so we are proposing a new material, which is a proprietary 316 stainless steel, which has been shown to withstand the strength of this raw sewer coming in. And so this needs to be replaced. The operators have been struggling on a daily basis to make this work. And this unit basically protects the $1.5 million membrane system that we have at the wastewater treatment plant that was installed as a part of the 2021 project. So it's very important that this gets replaced. It is a proprietary unit that can only be used from this particular manufacturer. And so I'm happy to answer any questions. This headworks part of this project is very important to the wastewater treatment plant. We're actually, I believe the headworks was omitted from the wastewater treatment plant project in 2021. And just as an informational item, we are looking to do a project for a complete new headworks system. And we're already starting into the preliminary engineering design report for that. So that being said, I'm happy to answer any questions.
How long do these normally last?
These should last decades. Unfortunately, the specification for the 304 stainless steel did not handle the strength. Yeah.
And that was gonna be my next question is, I mean, this was built in 2021. We didn't spend a couple dollars on this, and why wasn't this caught earlier? I mean, I've done several trips in there, this year and last year, and just different times that I've been there. I just remember seeing this one clearly last year and seeing it this last trip that I did with our mayor for the day that the deterioration was pretty significant. I mean, why wasn't this caught earlier? I mean, this is only 4 years.
It was actually showing signs within 9 months that I understand of installation of the corrosion starting. So,
And who was our inspector, or who was looking after this to make sure that I mean, what was our warranty on this thing?
so obviously I wasn't here at that time,
Correct.
so I don't
No,
know
correct,
the answer
correct.
to that question. But yeah, it definitely didn't survive, and the spec was probably needed to be stronger on this.
And I can tell you just from council's perspective, we did look at the paperwork and the contracts, and city manager and I discussed it, so we looked at that, yeah.
Okay, so we understand where it's
Yeah,
coming from?
yeah.
Okay, so, I mean,
I can tell you one of the things that, Mr. Dale does consistently is focus on the warranties that we're getting on our products, so.
and I understand that it's not Mr. Dale's area in your time that you were here, but, I mean, what else is gonna go? What else did we miss?
So I would say that, in my opinion, the plant was very well designed and
Right.
built. Maybe some of these components could have been better, but overall, the plant is one of the high-tech, very, very complex plant. And I must say, I'm very impressed by the operators being able to operate this plant, being this high complexity, very expensive type of plant, which can actually be converted into a recycled water system. And we've already had a few talks with some developers when they're interested in recycled water. It wouldn't take much to get this plant into that level. So it's a very, very nicely built plant. Maybe a few components needed better specs, but
Correct.
overall, good.
And I think in the scheme of things, in 2021 dollars, this 63,000 that we're gonna spend today would have been a lot less. and if it was included into the entire project.
And consider also that we are speccing a much more expensive material on this. So the 304 and 316 are not the same at all. This particular manufacturer has had very good success with the type of proprietary material that they're supplying on this, and so,
Does it come with a warranty?
Say what kind of warranty?
we'll be monitoring that. Actually, the original warranty should have been at least a year. So I'm not sure what happened in between because I know it was showing some signs. They're saying within 9 months.
I'm trying to remember the name of the company that was Webb. Webb is the one that led the charge on this, right?
The design of the plant was Webb and Associates, yeah.
That's what I was trying to remember who did it. Okay. I mean, I don't have an issue with the price. I just have an issue with us missing things like this. You know, we all miss things. I get it, you know, but price tags, that's what I'm looking at, is these things, you know. If operators wouldn't have caught this, a $63,000 part, it's gonna, you know, mess up, how much for the membranes?
They're at least 1.5 million right now.
Go.
Yes.
Little things, not say little things like that, but issues like that can lead into bigger problems.
So,
We're not
like I
worried
said before, the entire headworks needs to be replaced, and it wasn't as part of the project
it
that was
wasn't.
removed. And that's going to be a multi-million-dollar project. So we're already starting on the preliminary design of that. But it's like I said, these operators on a daily basis they're spending a lot of time, a lot of effort to remove the grit without this machine. So
Yeah. And as far as the other one that we're replacing is the one that, when I did the tour, they gave us the whole rundown of the whole deal. So that's kind of why that went in. All right. I have no more. Thank you.
You want to improve it?
Huh?
I make a motion to approve.
No, I'll second it.
Okay.
It
I
just,
got a motion and a second. Please vote.
Motion carries 4-0.
Next, C5, adopt resolution number 2025-08, approving the purchase of valve exercise equipment for the water treatment plant. Mr. Dell?
So one of the things I found in the past 11 months of working here is that our valve system has really been, I guess, maintenance deferred, and we have not been doing the proper valve exercising that we should be. And what that is when a water valve is installed, if you don't open it and close it at once a year or once every 2 years, they have the opportunity to corrode internally, and you won't be able to open and close them. And so as part of one of our requirements from our permit for water operations of our distribution system, we're required to do a valve exercising program. And so we want to start implementing that. We have an older valve exercise machine that we have on site, but we tried to fix it and it works, but we don't have, it doesn't work and it works, and we're sending it back to get repaired. But what it doesn't have is what this does have. This has a computer on it which has a GIS capability and GPS, and so when they exercise the valve, the operators can plug in the information of the valve, and it goes directly into our GIS system, and so therefore they can keep control of what valves have been exercised and which haven't been, and they can maintain the valves in that manner so that we have it completely in our GIS system. So that's why we are asking for this particular machine, because it is compatible with our brand new GIS system. So I'm happy to answer any questions.
I have questions. The current one that we have right now, how old is it, do you remember?
I want to say that it's 15 years, something like that. 10 to 15 years old.
Not the one that's in Jackie's old truck, is it?
It's on a trailer. Yes, it is on a truck. Yes, sorry. Excuse me, it is on a
Just
truck.
Jackie's old truck?
Yes, so we will use the same truck. We'll take the old one off and put the new one on.
And do we know what's wrong with this one? I mean, I'm looking, this price tag is what I'm looking at.
Sure.
And the last time we bought something for the water plant, we double bought the same stuff that was already sitting there.
Right.
So, I think you were here, no, you were not here yet. We bought a front loader that was small, then we bought one that was bigger. Then we bought, I think it was total of 4, if I remember right. What I'm looking at now is we're buying another one.
Yeah.
That's my worry, Mr. Dale, is, you know, what's wrong with the one that we have now? I get it, the GIS stuff, but GIS, we can all do add-ons to stuff. So we can add on, we can have GIS equipment added on to absolutely anything. A lot of GIS can go mobile. But, you know, if I'm looking at $103,000, $104,000 for a GIS tracker, I don't know. I just, my issue is
Understood.
what's wrong with the one we currently have that's not working right, and what would be the cost to add the GIS after the fact?
So, well, we've tried to have it repaired internally, and without much success. The operators tell me that while we could potentially use the old one, it would take a lot more time, and it has a lot more downtime with it. What we need to, when we propose a new distribution system crew, which we will potentially be doing in the next budgetary system, they will be focusing almost 100% of their time on just distribution systems. So we have problems right now because we have a lot of areas are older water systems, and we have breaks. And so when they go to fix the break, and I've had this, we experienced this on our street improvement program. When they go, because we said, you know, fix the valves that are broken now, because we don't want to dig them up again. So when we had a water break on one of the streets that we were about to pave, they could not shut the water down. So they went farther back and farther back in the system, and finally were able to figure out what to shut off, and they ended up shutting off like 1/5 of the entire city to get to this one water break. So this is not a small issue with regard to the valves. I also want to propose that we start a valve replacement program, because there's a number of valves that they're already past the fact that even exercising is too late. And so that we want to also propose in the future, but at this moment we absolutely need to start a valve exercising program. And the valve exercising machine that we have, the operators tell me that it's not working the way it should. And so we need to replace it with or without the GIS portion of it. So
Yeah, I'm all for GIS, and that's not the issue, because like I said, we can do GIS on many platforms. We only have one vendor. Did we get any other bids for this?
no, and that's why we had the resolution for the sole source,
Sole
and that's
source.
specifically because of the GIS. It will work seamlessly with with our operation system that we have right now.
Is the GIS option not offered by any other vendors so that we could try and promote the competition?
I believe that they do have other GIS, but they're not compatible with our Esri system, something to that effect. The Trimble Unity was the only one that we found that was actually compatible with the type of GIS that we have. That's what I understood from our GIS project manager.
Can you?
Oh, yes, it's a combination of the asset management that is going to come from the same kind of vendor. So yeah, it's a combination of parts over there. But I concur with Mr. Dell in regards to the use of GIS in this machine. I mean, I'm not a user of that particular valve exerciser, but I think it's the proper recommendation.
On the flip side, if it helps you to help monitor what we're doing using GIS and help us forego something like replacing something like we're talking about before that showed wear and tear in 9 months, and you're actively monitoring stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see the point. It sucks to pay that much money for something, right? But
What are we gonna do with the current one?
So the current one would probably put in on surplus. We'll ask the council to do that.
I see the benefit of what you're saying, as long as it's used the way it should be used.
No, I
right?
see the benefit.
Yeah.
It just, how long has that one that we have not been used? How long has it been out of service? Did we just try it in-house? Did we find an outside vendor that can work on it? I mean, we used to send stuff out all the time. I mean, I don't know.
This is my opinion. I think we're gonna find a lot more stuff now that Mr. Dale's here.
Yes,
That
I agree.
we're gonna get up to speed. Not in a bad way. You're doing your job.
Yes.
And thank you for that.
I just think it will
the-
help if we have your assurance that by purchasing the type of equipment that has the GIS capabilities and offers that it'll not only help with staff time and the dedication of the time on exercising these valves, but also the cost savings on equipment that would have to otherwise be replaced because they're not being properly monitored
Yeah.
or maintained.
Correct. And that's the whole thing is I think I have shell shock of buying all those loaders. I mean, I didn't understand it, why we needed so many different ones. And then that they were gonna be shared between water and wastewater, and then that wasn't gonna happen. So,
Yeah,
I hope you see where I'm coming from.
absolutely, 100%.
I mean, $104,000 doesn't grow on a tree. And we
No
can't sell
question.
enough lemons and oranges off that property.
Anytime I would bring something to council, I always look at cost benefit. So in terms of the cost benefit, I think that it would be saving time, effort from our guys, and we'd be able to do more with this machine than we would with the old one, constantly having to break down and fix it and so forth. And I'm bringing this presentation to you based on the recommendations from the operators themselves.
Thank you.
Any other question? Okay, I would like a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I got a motion
Second it.
and a second. Vote, please.
Motion carries 4-0.
Okay, up next is D, reports. We'll start with Mr. Mora. Mr. Mora, you've been quiet tonight, nothing exciting. But I want to hear your wish list too, because I'm still want to make your department better. You're doing,
Well, for now, I
You
want to
got
show
my support.
a short clip of what's going on Aiden Boulevard. This is the bike path.
Oh, yeah, the green?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for IT.
It's just already laughing. I got I got pulled off to the side and they're like, really? Green? I was like,
I love it.
I said, yes, it's a nice color.
Yeah, it is for high visibility. I mean, we want.
Oh, yeah, I said it with a smile.
It's great. I'm not being just.
We are almost done. We are hoping to be completed by the 28th. So just waiting for
It's a pretty green.
it is. I like it.
See, that looks nice.
It's cool.
Looks nice.
you like the thermal?
I do.
So I saw that, don't forgive me because I don't know the words. You guys roughed out the crosswalks.
Mhm.
They get thermoplasted again?
Yes,
or-
in the couple next day, tomorrow and Friday, they will be completing the zebra striping on that
Got it.
location, and we're also gonna be doing the thermoplastic on the remaining of Aiden Boulevard. So
On the median and all that.
median and all that. Yes.
It's gonna look good.
Is that your guys' drone?
Yes, that is correct. Yeah,
Fancy.
it is.
How pretty. Our valley's pretty.
Yeah. I really like the color. It looks different from up here than it does from down there. Does it make it hurt as much?
It's nice. see it every day on the way to work.
It is beautiful.
It's pretty.
That's all I have. Thank you.
So for the rest of Ayton Boulevard,
Mr. Dale has the other side of it, huh?
the sewer line is, the 21-inch sewer line is completely in now. And so the rest of the project will be just connecting Myrtle Road, Preble Road, and Shiloh. When we connect those and then connect the existing sewer laterals, and done. So after that, then we start with the paving program. So that'll be really nice to have Ayton Boulevard paved again, and that's Mr. Othone Mora's project here next to me. So yeah, we're very happy. We hit a few blocks literally in the road. One was an IID power line, which ended up being right in the middle of the 21-inch sewer line. We were able to successfully coordinate with the county because it happened to be the old General Dynamics / Ricochet buildings power that was underground. So the county was very gracious. They worked with us. They were very thankful to the county and the IID for working so quickly. They got the power rerouted within a week and a half, I think. So it was just an amazing thing to see the coordination, and so that got rerouted. We got our sewer lines. Everything's good. We hit a couple water lines here and there, but overall it's been so far a very successful job, and appreciate the council working with us to get that done. That's only phase 1 of the project. So as we mentioned before, phase 2 would be to go all the way to the Claypool pump station. So we'll be bringing that back to you as a public bid on that one. We found that the Claypool pump station wet well is not sized large enough. It's only a 6-foot diameter, which is very small, which means that the pumps turn on and off and on and off, and that's not good for the pumps. So we're going to be putting in like an 11-foot diameter new wet well in the Claypool area. So look for that to be coming. We're going to be sending out to hopefully to bid in the next month or so to finish the rest of that project. And we're expecting that the new pipeline will go down the very center, the median of 86, and then cross over. So we're going to stay away from the intersection. We're going to go 45 degrees from that last manhole at Preble to the median, and then down the median and across. Hopefully that will eliminate or very much reduce the impact of the work in the intersection.
That was gonna be my next question, is where is it gonna go?
Yeah, so we do have to cross 86 somewhere halfway between where Ayton Boulevard and the Claypool, because there are some service laterals to pick up, but yeah. So the 10-inch line that goes north and south on the east side will remain for the most part.
And when do you anticipate that?
We're almost complete with the design, so I'm guessing within 3-4 weeks we can put it out to bid. And so probably construction in 4 to 5 months, 6 months maybe, starting, yeah.
Put it under construction with those poor people right in the middle of summer.
Yeah. So we're just going to be crossing 45 degrees from Preble to the median, so it will pretty much only affect the southbound traffic for that. We'll probably spec it to be a night job. So we're going to try to minimize the impact of the intersection as much as possible.
That'd be nicer for whoever's working at night.
Yeah. So maybe 2 nights, I'm guessing, to cross that area and be out in the median. So we probably only have to close 1 lane, probably one of the northbound lanes, to do that work. So we'll see how that goes. And then you got a packet probably on your dais there of the pavement rehab project. Shows some of the pictures before and after. This was prepared in December when Robert Amperano was still mayor, so that's why it says on that. But I'm happy to answer any questions. Things are going pretty well right now. We've got some things happening and a lot of construction going on, but people are, for the most part, being very gracious and patient with us.
Now we're getting, when is my road gonna get done?
Yeah.
It's coming.
I like seeing the progress on 7.
So we're on that one. I don't want to speak for Mr. Mora, but we're looking at hopefully getting pavement, and we talked about it before the meeting, within a month. We're hoping that we can start getting all that completed. One of the delays, and we spoke about earlier, was we added all of the water lines, the sewer lines we extended the sewer lines out beyond where the pavement is gonna be so that we don't wanna damage pavement after, later on. And so that, a lot of that delay of that project was us adding and changing the utilities so that, you know, once the pavement's there, we don't have to go back in again, so.
Just, that was one of my questions, so I'll cross that one out.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Dale. Mr. Tony?
So before I go on to the next thing that we're doing, I just wanted to put it in the context, using some, a software that's kind of an analytic software that gives us an estimate of how many people are attending the community events. I know we put it in your memos and things, but we don't often advertise it in this format for everybody to kind of know how many people we're serving in the way of community events. Just to give you guys a context, just over the last 4, we've probably hit 40,000 in attendance, right? Understanding that the carnival was a little bit lower than we usually expect, we still got 6,500 visitors. Now, this we get from a company that we're hoping to propose. I know Tommy's working on this right now. It's called Placer AI. It uses cell phone analytics, ping cell phones that are in the area during our events, and it gives us an estimation of who's in attendance. So for the parade alone, we got 13,000 in the city of Imperial. Probably one of the highest turnouts that I've ever seen. And it's only getting bigger, right? Eventually, we're gonna run out of space for everybody to sit. And the next day, we got 10, approximate. So we have our tri-tip coming up that we get anywhere from 10 to 12,000 people in attendance. So this is just to kind of inform the public of with the unwavering support of the council and all the money that you allow us to spend on these community benefit events that we have. All these things are free to the community. These events are all free to everyone. We get a lot of people that we serve not only from the city of Imperial, but from all over the county. So I want to thank the council for their support and the things that the Parks and Rec Department does. And then now we segue into, what's next, right? So next week we have our movie in the park. You guys should be getting an email, every one of you, with a map and a movie. If you guys are interested in watching Beauty and the Beast at Victoria Park, please join us. You should be seeing that if you haven't gotten it already by tomorrow. It'll also include a map of the park. Some of these parks are in subdivisions and they're a little harder to find, so we're including maps with directions for those that don't know where the park is. And then the movie and time is 6 to 9 at Victoria Park. So the next thing after that, we're doing the tri-tip, which is March 22nd. That's probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest, events that we have. We already have about 6 competitors signed up. We just released our competitor applications not that long ago. So we have a lot of interest that we've generated so far, at least in competitors. Our map is always full with full season vendors. We've probably seen the most spaces taken up from full season. Now, whether they show up or not, that's a different story. But our map is full all the way down from 6th to 9th with full. That's just full season, right? Everybody else is add-ons that we extend or maybe go to 11th on. But we've seen it this year that we're growing and growing. Probably in the next few years, have to look at other options. We got some exciting ideas for you guys during our workshop for the budget. Some different things we want to propose in way of events and different things for parks as well as far as projects. So I'm excited to sit with you guys during that work session and kind of go over so you guys can prioritize the community. You guys are the voice of the community and prioritize those projects for the next fiscal year. So a lot of good things coming for 2025, but just kind of give you a context of what your support in that budget process does for the community.
That's also the Sunrunners car.
Yes,
Carnival
so we have the
day of,
Carnival, the Carnival is, although that's not a city spot, they're having it the same day.
in the morning.
We tried to talk them out of it.
It's
it
like
wa-
meat day.
It wasn't
Carne
happening.
asada and then try to.
So we have a lot going on in the city of Imperial that day.
Yeah.
Big
Tried to,
carnival
yeah.
day.
Luckily for us, they end right around the time we're getting started, so
You can
we,
spend all day.
yeah, we've coordinated with them for traffic, because they sometimes use H
And so we've left that open for our vendors to come in and out for load-in. So we worked that out with him and his folks. But yeah, we also have that on that same day. And I believe it's from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Eager Park.
That's a good day for residents.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tony. IT?
Well, in comparison to David and I don't have anything. We just keep moving forward with the project that we have. Nothing in particular, but if you have any question, more than happy to answer.
Robert?
I'm good.
Right. Thank you.
Chief?
Thank you, Mayor. It's not exactly a competition when I pull the trump card. We have our children's. You can't beat kids and animals, right? So we have our kinder tour the 27th, which is a Thursday, from 8:30 to 10:45 is what we have scheduled. I don't know that we would efficiently be able to herd 400 kindergartners through in that time frame, but we're going to give it our best. And we have participating agencies in Border Patrol, the Sheriff's Department, Reach, IID, and Imperial County Fire. So it's going to be a bunch of children given a tour of the police facility. Hopefully this is the last one we give them because we could do it at the next station next year. But it should be a fun event, and it's for all of our local kindergartners.
No wonder you had to shut the street down. 400. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of kids. Nice. Well,
The attention spans.
So the final stop is going to be the city manager's office. So.
Hand out candy or something. No.
Tony will stand in the door going, "Yeah, he coming through."
No, I'm gonna let him visit Uncle Dennis for sure.
That and the only other thing that I would add is that it's grant season for law enforcement. We've put in for a couple of grants for equipment, overtime, and some other things that would help us accomplish our mission. Hopefully, we get some of those. Other than that, I have nothing. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Fire?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Wanted to report that the Board of Supervisors approved the automatic aid agreement. They were the last party of the four parties.
Awesome.
So now AMR, City of Imperial, El Centro, and now the county have all adopted or approved the agreement. So that's now the real work begins. We need to make sure that the individuals from the different departments, El Centro and county, are very familiar with each other's equipment. You think, hose loads would be simple, they're loaded differently. And if you pull it a certain way and it's loaded for another type of pull, you have a mess. So even those little things we'll be working on. Our battalion, our deputy chiefs and their battalion chiefs have already been working together on a training plan. So they'll be implementing that, and we're going to look at the rest of this year as kind of a pilot to kind of play around with how things are working out. And if it works, the things that work, we keep. Things that don't work, we toss it out and try something else. And we'll move from there. So happy to report that. And also there'll be a media release, so you might see something in the paper if they pick it up or not. But we felt it earned a media release for this effort, combined effort.
All right, appreciate it. Diana?
Just to let you know that we are starting the process for the budget. So probably within the next couple of weeks, we're gonna start with departments, and we're hoping to have our work session with council in the middle of March.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Nothing to report today.
Thank you, Mayor. Also, nothing to report this week.
All right, thank you. Mr. Morita?
Yes, Mr. Mayor and Council, nothing for me this evening.
All right. City Attorney?
Nothing for me.
Nothing. Mr. Alvarado?
A couple things. I know today we had a couple, vehicle for surplus. I know at the Parks Yard, we have a couple vehicles back there, right? Are those gonna be going anytime?
So those are, we were still using some of those at
Oh,
because
okay.
we are short on vehicles, so we still use some of them on occasion, but yeah, those will be coming to you soon for surplus. One, because we need to clear them out of that yard, as I don't know what the future is for that lumber yard or space. I know I've heard different things, but we want to make sure we get them out of our fleet, and then we budget properly for vehicles. As our department's grown, often my guys share vehicles. But every so often we have to pull a vehicle from there and we use it. So, in the next few months, you'll be seeing those for surplus,
Awesome. Thank
including
you.
the old boom truck.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. The other thing is, Carnival, had a good time, good music. I mean, good entertainment. Really enjoyed it. Something different, for the community. So really liked our shirts. They were nice, colorful. Appreciate that. Other than that, just the normal everyday. Thanks for everything you guys do. I know that our city's growing and it's tough, and we all have jobs to do. So, but with that, one of the jobs that I have been doing to relay back to the council and everybody is, I've been going to dance practice twice a week. Yeah, I'm sore the next day. Sore the next day. So, it is fun. And I can't tell you what I'm going to be doing, but it's going to be memorable. You won't. That's exactly what's going to happen. You're going to be laughing. But no, it'll be a good time. But other than that, thank you guys for everything you guys do. Appreciate it.
Right, thank you. City clerk?
Nothing.
All right, Ms. Stacy?
Just as Councilmember Amparano said, we were able to attend Carnival, and thank you to staff. A new event, and to me, it was wonderful and amazing. I'm surprised you mentioned that the attendance seemed low, because I thought it was very well attended. Yeah, it was brought to my attention that maybe some of the vendors wound up backing out at the last minute, or did you have the full participation you anticipated, or?
Yeah, so we have a full map that we show on our records because people come in and they pay for all of our events. So we, in a sense, we have to hold their space. And sometimes if they have other commitments or they don't want, or, the long weekend, and different things, they choose not to show up and they don't necessarily have to notify us. So then we have something that really messes with my OCD, which is gaps. But they're not required to notify us that they're gonna pull out of the event, but they do pay for the full season. So we show them tentative on our map as, they're gonna show up. And then the only ones we know that, for sure will or will not show up are the ones that are doing the public health process, which are the food vendors. Cause we have to go through the public health process every single event, new TFF and things like that. But we showed a full event, and then some decided not to show. And as it was kind of unfolding, I started to see the gaps, and at that point, to ask people to move closer to each other is kind of a pain.
Yeah.
So I just, turned the other way. But to kind of echo what Councilmember Amparano was saying earlier about the shirts, please provide Olivia with your current sizes. Your husband got your husband got a shirt.
My husband got a shirt. You know what I
but-
think happened is because from 2 years ago, the signature event shirt, he got one, and so he gets an extra large.
Yes.
So he got a shirt. Thank you.
And so we'll be doing that until you guys have a collection of the series. Next one is tri-tip, so we'll be getting you guys a shirt too. So if you guys have updated sizes, please send those to Olivia.
I didn't even get my shirt. Where?
Nancy has it for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we can give it to Olivia or however you want to pick it up. Come by the office. Yeah. But anything's changed with sizes, please send it to Olivia as soon as possible because we'll be ordering the tri-tip ones.
Okay.
Here in the next couple weeks.
Thank you.
No, it's a good event. I appreciate the rides. That's always cool, right? You guys had a slide out there, Ferris wheel. It's always something different. Just some comments I heard from some is some people didn't know about the event or they heard about it last minute. So I think because it's a new event, maybe it's not one of our, standard events. Maybe advertised different, who knows? But I thought it was a great turnout. Well attended from what I can tell, and the kids have fun. They always have fun at our events. You guys do awesome with the kids and the adults. And the beer garden's always well attended. So thank you.
I had to explain to my grandson when we were leaving and heading over there, I said, this isn't carnival, it's carnival, like Brazil, the Rio.
Yeah.
And we get there and there's the rides and
Carnival.
that's carnival to me.
No, it's really good. You guys do an amazing job. I know it's a lot of work. Put stuff up, tear it down. I mean, that's a lot. So thank you very, very much to all the staff.
Yep. Very well.
And Amber, thank you. I think it's amazing, SDSU, she ran off, stuck to it, but, that's gonna be such a blessing for Imperial Valley, the city, the residents. I mean, nobody taught me how to fill out a FAFSA or a college application, and so to have that right here in our library, that is such a blessing. Oh, I'm so excited. It gives me chills for the kids. Like, it makes me so happy. So, that's great.
Alrighty. I guess I did forget you, huh, Amber? Would you like to say anything for the library?
I'll just have to say, I can't take credit for that because that was Dennis Morita, our city manager, and our city attorney, and Frank, and Olivia. Putting everything together all year long. There are a lot of exciting, library, we're over here. You don't really see us, but we're not that quiet. We have a lot going on. We have an amazing team, a lot of things happening. You have your report where we received a grant for free after-school grant, snacks. And it's provided for all ages. And so it's really nice to see everybody enjoying a snack together. There's games. We just purchased through our CUP fund a digital game that I've been wanting for over a year. Has all the old school games, about 50 of them. And I've been waiting for a sale, and I finally found a sale. So we got approval yesterday. So we won't have to count the pieces to the game board, give them to the games. Planning our summer reading program. We're making it big. We're going to be reaching out to sponsorships to have large prizes to give out. And we receive funding for our lunch at the library. We have 4 grants that are coming up for the California State Library in March. Fingers crossed we can get as many of those submitted as possible because they all apply to providing better services for our community. So one's for play, one's for sustainable programming. So we have a lot of great ideas, and we just got to get it on the paper and get it submitted. So thank you for calling me up here.
Sorry about that.
No. But yeah, there's a lot of great things happening, and we have amazing staff that make it happen. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right. Seeing nothing else, I'll adjourn the meeting till March 5th, 2025.